Are you ready for the ultimate bikepacking weekend adventure? Join us for an unforgettable self-supported bikepacking trip through Southwest Virginia. The Grayson Gravel Pie Bikepacking Adventure travels along the Virginia Creeper Trail, the beautiful gravel roads of Grayson County, Virginia, and the New River Trail. All lodging and camping arrangements are included, along with daily routes and guides riding along with you. This self-supported adventure offers resupply opportunities every 20 miles for your food and water needs. Find out more at graveltraveldirt.com.
You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Hi friends, I'm Brian.
And I'm Joey.
This, folks, is episode 238, Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. If you're new here, this is the podcast where we talk about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping, or just playing bikes. And tonight,
Road biking.
I guess it is a little bit
Bike
of road
maintenance.
because our
Bike carriers. Bike
content this evening in this episode is our experience up at the Hush Money Fall Fuckaround.
Yes.
So I guess we do have to give sort of an explicit language warning. Do we have to do that?
No.
No? I mean, it's the title of the event. It's not like we're using that word as an expression of emotion.
Yes.
It's just the name of the event. It is the name of the event. So we are going to talk about that. In fact, we did something entirely new, entirely different.
No one else has done it before.
I'm sure lots of people have done it before, but we now have, listener, a mobile podcast studio setup that we take with us to events such as the Hush Money Fall Fuckaround that was just in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, over last weekend. And we had the unique opportunity, and I think it was a great way to kick it off, to have Nate from Hush Money, Baron von Fancypants himself. Is this like this will be like the third time that we've had him on the podcast.
Yeah.
So he's getting up there in numbers.
He's not Father Dave, but
No. Father Dave's on like once a month. Isn't that the way it goes?
we got to have him on this month. Like Father Christmas.
No, it's we were able to sit down with Nate while he was still in his kit. We did not even give him time to relax.
Nope.
To talk about the event, and we're going to dive into that here in this episode, and you will get the opportunity, dear listener, to hear that interview that Joey and I did with Nate fresh off of the event, which was very, very cool. I think it was very different than anything we've done before, in my opinion. I thought it was pretty cool. So we want to do more and more and more of that.
It's just like sitting at our table.
Well, yeah, it was
a
just
lot of people.
It was just like sitting at the table. That's what I think was kind of cool about it.
There's
Except
no
it was
Blake.
live. Except it was live and in person.
Yeah.
So, all right. Before we get into all the Hush Money fun, on either the Salt Stick website or the JoJ website, use the checkout code LoveYouBuy. Takes 20% off your items. Over at Cutaway USA, use the discount code GTD20 to take 20% off your order. And we have confirmed that is still in fact working. If you're looking for a new hydration pack, check out Orange Mud. Use the discount FF23RAINS to take 15% off your order there. All those discount codes and the links to those websites will be in the show notes. You can check them out there. Topo Chico tonight?
Yes.
Do you have any intent to ever drink bourbon again, Joey?
Not right now.
So it's just you're kind of just waiting it out.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'm going on month 3.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, none of us really wanted to.
I made it
through
through Thanksgiving without it.
That's pretty good. That's saying a
It
lot.
wasn't super dramatic. So
That's saying a lot. Anything going on at the shop?
actually a big surprise.
Oh, tell us. Do.
No, that's a surprise.
What do you mean it's a surprise?
No, we did some move-in rearranging, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, you've rearranged again?
Oh, this is a big one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to
I'm not
get
even
in there
telling
to see
you.
that. Okay.
You
No,
should come in.
I haven't been in the shop in probably a week.
I know.
I need to come in. Is my mountain bike ready?
That I don't know. I wasn't even in the shop today.
Ah, that's right.
And then we were closed half of last week.
You were on the
like-
road. You were on the road
I was
today.
in College Park today.
Okay. So it really was a lot of fun in Lancaster. We rode up together. It was a very early morning and a very late evening.
It wasn't ridiculous. I think if it might be, I don't know, as an Airbnb, or do you have your Airbnb open on Thanksgiving Day?
Sure.
It'd be fun to go up halfway through Thanksgiving and get an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Or get an Airbnb Friday night.
I think it would be more fun to do Friday night. And actually, I did look in Lancaster for Airbnbs. And there's one like just a couple of blocks that was only like $70.
Yeah.
So I think to have it that night would be better.
Yeah,
because
you can hang out for the after party.
Yeah, hanging out for the because I saw some of the dark time photos that they posted, and it looked like they had a hootenanny.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's in the spring.
Yeah.
So we did the short course. We'll talk all about this more, but we rode the short course, which was a lot of fun, mixed terrain.
Oh yeah, a little bit of everything.
It was like a lot of everything. A lot of everything. Had road, had single track, had some gnarly kind of single track, I guess. Not really feature styled single track, but it wasn't also just smooth and flowy. What would you have called that food, smooth and flowy?
No, a little rocky. I mean,
yeah.
It was. I would say it's a mix between single track and just gravel.
The railroad ballast was the most interesting.
Yeah, but the little section through the woods and all, other than getting off for that big stream crossing, it was halfway between a gravel path thing and a little bit of mountain biking.
All I know is with the railroad ballast and that single track, if you were on the wrong bike for those sections,
slick 28s was a little difficult.
Even slick 32s, or I would even say,
I bet slick 47s or 50s would have rolled over it really nice.
Yeah,
like 25 psi.
Yep, would have been real nice. Actually, that would have been the perfect event to play with pressure for each section. It would have been an interesting approach.
I would have thrown on my bigger tires had I known, but next time.
Yeah, next time. So this is the first time we've gone up there for it. I think we have all registered for it multiple times, and this is the first time we've actually gotten there. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And folks, you're going to hear all about all of that in our interview with Nate. You want to go ahead and jump over to Strava Club if you've got nothing else going on, Joey?
No, say otherwise. We rode Sunday too, which was pretty good.
That was fun. That was fun.
I think it was the first. It started out probably the coldest ride so far this year.
Yeah,
this season.
Easy. Yeah,
it warmed up a little bit, but then it started raining.
You know, it
wasn't like a rain, but
it wasn't a rain. It was like a misty thing, and it did rain later on in the day, but we missed that. We
barely missed it.
So that was good.
I think that was the start of the coldest ride of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
too bad.
No,
and it was a fun group. That was a group that enjoyed well with Austin and Ellen. It was a group that enjoyed
Jocelyn and Jellen.
Yeah, they're just gelling.
The Jays.
It was a group that just sort of really enjoyed whatever comes what may, kind of thing. Just having a good time.
And we got lunch after.
Letting the day come together. Yes.
Fun ride thing.
That is. It's always so much nicer.
Yeah.
To finish a ride with a nice social.
I was just short of 90 miles. I rode Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
Fuckaround that and something little, but I was just short of 90 miles this week with a chest cold.
Don't know how are you feeling? I know I'm surprised.
I'm actually more sore today than I probably was with you the other day. Like my whole midsection just hurts.
I was surprised I didn't come down with it being in the car with you all day. Yeah. I
sneezed all over your face when you weren't looking.
Well, no, I actually
looked at your drinks. Yeah,
we shared an ice cream cone. That was probably a problem.
No, my biggest problem is my albuterol. I don't know what people do with asthma. Keep that thing warm in your pockets. I started putting it between my jersey and my chest.
Yeah, did that help when we were riding on?
I think so.
It did. Okay.
Then I would like breathe in, like blow hot air into it right before I took it too.
Okay.
Finally got me some good stuff.
I think the good idea would be what I had suggested was build a little
koozies.
Build a little pouch, make a little pouch to keep it in, and then throw a little one of those hand warmers in there.
I do have a pouch for it.
Okay.
Because I sew.
Yeah. Did you make one already?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, nice.
I just had one already made.
Nice.
So
just throw it all in there together in one of those. Did you need some of those little hand warmers?
I brought a ton to Fuckaround and Sunday's ride. Didn't need any. I will say for the first time ever, so I actually have winter riding boots. I have like a nice, I would say just regular average riding boot. That's like Gore-Tex and stuff. But I didn't have cleats for it. So I got me in just shoe covers.
Mm-hmm.
And holy cow, my feet were
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So I really got the shoe covers technically for my gravel shoes because I have the road boots, and now that I'm riding my Athos, I'm riding my Speed Play Wahoo pedals.
Mhm.
But man, there's a little they're not like super thick neoprene, but me and Jess had really warm feet
No,
Sunday.
I like the neoprene ones when it's really cold out.
Well, it's really cold. I'm gonna put on my boots.
Okay, when it's really cold, I put on my neoprene covers.
That
That
was
does a good job.
I was looking at a pair of Shimano gravel / mountain bike winter boots. And I was like, I mean, even for me, they're still expensive.
Mm.
So I just figured out the shoe covers will be perfect.
Yeah.
And then I got those 45 Norse from Chris, 30 Kitten Chris. That it basically has to be single digits to wear those. So
Yeah, I was gonna say you haven't worn those yet.
I got
have you?
multiple winter riding boots.
Have you worn those at all?
No, it hasn't.
Okay.
Because the one winter we were riding,
Yeah, it
and
was.
then it got warm the last few.
Yeah.
So
It.
and then I rode the trainer so much, like I'll use them one day.
Are you gonna do the trainer again this year? No.
I don't know. I've been thinking about it. We have a couple at the shop. I could grab one.
Yeah.
I sold mine.
Oh.
But it's been, looks like we might actually have a really cold, wet winter.
Sometimes
Snowy winter.
I think it's not a bad idea to sell your trainer after a couple of seasons and replace it. The technology
just for
changes.
electronics, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also those things take a beating.
And that was an 18. I rode it hard a couple winters,
Mhm.
Especially 2020 or 20, I don't know. But it was the 2018 model Wahoo kicker. And they've already had two out now. So
And they've come down in price.
oh, yeah.
And it's almost you're doing
Unless you want the one that rocks now, and it's $1,500.
I don't think you really. I don't think that's a thing that. Although I can't say it because I've never ridden one that does that has that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
But I know that I sweat.
Have you seen the new Wahoo one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes got a forward and a backward and side to side, and I can see where that would increase the realism.
Mhm.
But do you think that increases the fitness that you get out of it? Maybe with the bike moving, it would decrease some of those long trainer days. It would make it feel like it's a little bit more like a road feel.
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't get those hot spots that would cause saddle sores from a trainer that you can sometimes develop. So I guess maybe there is some advantage there and some benefit, but I don't know that it's necessarily something that I need.
Yeah.
So, but it's not a bad idea. I don't think. Still don't think to swap a trainer out every once in a while, every couple of years, 2-3 years.
Like, I think if I get a new trainer, I'll probably get the Wahoo rollers.
Okay, yeah, because
Like
you're a
we have
roller
the shop.
guy. You like the rollers.
Yeah, but not the roll. Like, you're actually, the front wheel's locked in. We use it for bike fittings.
Oh, I know.
seen
You
that
got
one?
in the shop. You have them in the shop. Yeah, yeah.
I need a power meter for it, so I'll just get a Stages.
Yeah.
Or something, power arm. But that one,
Does it do resistance as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
but if you don't have a power meter connected, it's useless.
Okay.
Caveat. But they're on sale from like $600 MSRP or something. They were like $9
How does the resistance work on that roller trainer?
because the back rollers have a motor connected to them.
Okay, so it basically slows everything down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you would put a trainer tire on, I'm assuming, for that, or do you think you
but
just?
I don't know.
I mean, otherwise you're just wearing a tire out, and the trainer tires are.
Yeah.
Then the downside is, well, then when you do want to take the bike back outside, you gotta swap it off.
No, I mean I would just straight up. I just put another wheel on for my rear.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, sorry, with the trainer or
That's what I did. That's what I did when I rolled when I had I guess that was the Kinetic, the old green machine that everybody had.
the old school ones.
Yeah, really, really old school. Before smart trainers were really, I think it's the way to go anymore. Although, not to be an elitist, but I think they're affordable enough now that if you're going to invest the effort and the time, with time being the investment, that it makes sense to go ahead and invest a little bit in the equipment that goes along with it, because it will increase your enjoyment. I know that the world changed a lot when I went from just doing straight trainer road workouts to Zwift,
Oh, definitely.
because the time goes a little bit faster. Like I had an hour and 20 minutes today, and it just feels like you're just there just doing a thing, and it's not as tedious, maybe is the way to put it, because you can kind of focus on the environment and where you are. So I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
So we'll see.
You still selling like what do they call them? Dumb trainers? Is that what they call them?
I just don't have a lot of people ask. Like maybe once a year we sell one.
Okay.
I just stock the Wahoos.
Yeah.
Although the interest in that's gone down a lot. I think saturation is pretty pretty heavy.
What do you mean from a saturation? You think everybody that wants one has got one?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the volume of people. I mean, how are you feeling about? I mean, the word on the street is the bike industry is shrinking, and what were your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, because we had a huge boom. There's always the other side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think the boom was so big that there's the wraparound, the whip around?
Yeah.
It was inevitable.
Boomerang effect.
It was an inevitable, really.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just curious about
It'll
that.
be a weird winter. I thought last year would be weird. It was okay. This year will be definitely weird.
If we get some nice weather,
Yeah.
then maybe that'll help.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know what the weather's supposed to do this year, though, and nobody does. Nobody can say. How would you know?
Yeah.
You know, what are we, weathermen? Weatherman? Weatherman doesn't even know.
Looks like we only needed 90.4. I don't know if I made it top 100. Kind of blows for Strava.
Sorry.
Aaron Morley from Rooster Racing, Arizona. Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know.
From the desert with 136.7. Lindsay O'Connor from Lexington, Kentucky with 168.4. And Tiffany F. from Fredericksburg, Virginia with 118.2. Like I said, 90.4 was our top 100. We're up to 915.
915 members, and that's
Hey,
growing
you get a
now.
mustache at 1,000, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
That's
Maybe
the way it
next
happens.
year's No Shave November thing. That's how long it'll take.
No Shave November.
Yeah, that's when everyone grows out mustaches.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Remember The Office, too?
Yeah. All right, folks.
What was it? Smile if you like mince prostates or something? Toby? It
No idea what you're talking about on that
Toby?
one. No, I don't know.
was like
that.
the last season in The Office with...
We don't. So I've probably seen the last season of The Office once, maybe twice. I've suffered through it, but I think we're in the same thing where you watch. When you rewatch The Office, you kind of skip the last season. I do.
Yeah. I'm not there yet.
I was reading something the other day. It's like people don't say, "Did you watch The Office?" They actually say, "Do you watch The Office?" The active. Oh, I know what you. Yeah.
Yeah, see? Smile if you love men's prostates.
It's the way that came through.
That's the title of this Strava, or this...
Okay, folks. Well, enjoy this conversation that Joey and I had with Nate. Hey, we are fresh off of the Hush Money Bikes Fall Fuckaround, and people are we're gonna do a little disclaimer at the beginning of this episode and tell people that there's a little language, and it's just the way it is.
I don't think it's language. It's just...
And we've got Nate with us. Hey, Nate.
Howdy.
Man, that was one fantastic ride.
Yeah, I think it's bold to say that we're fresh off of that ride. Fresh is not the word I would use
Oh, I
to
feel
describe
fresh.
any of us right now.
I'm not. I did a short course, and I'm pretty worked.
Well, it was fantastic. You got a little bit of everything on that. I'm not exactly sure how you did that, but bravo.
Yeah.
The joke I've been going with is that every bike is the wrong bike at some point. It
You
doesn't
know?
matter
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you bring.
Yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
the wrong bike at some point.
When we hit that ballast on the railroad, it was like, somebody was on.
You're not going to do it on 28s.
No. Oh my God.
And
Could
the
you
the one lady who showed up on a fat bike, that was her moment in the sun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She was probably over to the left,
Yeah.
like just flying by everybody
Yeah.
that was. So okay, so for folks that don't know, the Hush Money Fall Fuckaround is an annual ride that you put on here. And how many times have you done this now?
This is the third and the biggest so far.
Okay, how many people did you have today?
I had 262 pre-register. I think maybe 15 people signed up morning of.
Okay.
There's always a little bit of a Thanksgiving hangover, so we don't get that full
Yeah.
200 something.
Yeah.
But I do think we had 200 people here today.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm going to
oh
count
yeah.
in one picture.
Oh yeah. There was easily. I was actually surprised at the number of people that were here. I think I've registered for this every year, and I think this is the first year that I've actually made it up.
And that's actually pretty common, I think, because it's only $25.
Yeah.
So people who are on the fence just sign up.
Yep. That's what I
and then it's only a $25 loss, and it always benefits something. This year it benefits the Lancaster Conservancy.
Yeah.
So it's like, you gave $25 to the Conservancy, no big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
In when you take into consideration Thanksgiving hangovers and the weather could be ugly, it's a real crapshoot in terms of who shows up versus who signed up.
Yeah.
I think last year I was in Jersey debating on coming over, and there was like a small break in the window you guys had for this, it looked like, and now I was surprised people showed up. It was amazing.
Today's weather was absolutely stupendous.
It was perfect.
Beautiful. It was perfect. It was perfect riding weather. For me, it felt like it was. What was it like? Probably touching 50 degrees, maybe sunshiny.
So this is the new shop. I haven't seen the new shop. How long have
Beautiful.
you guys been over here?
A year and a day.
Year and a day. Right on.
And my math might be off by a day or two, but this event last year was our grand opening for this shop.
Oh, that's
Okay.
We had been in a weird little single bay garage in the back of Endo Cafe for
Right.
3 years prior to that. We sort of like saved our penny and we waited for the pennies. It's a bike shop. We saved our penny and we waited for the right building to come along.
Well, I remember the old shop because that's where my Otso. I picked up my Otso from my work and from there. And this is the first time it's been. I guess I'll call it home. It's the first time it's been back home to ride its own roads and have a good time. So, the ride starts right here at the back of the shop. Heads out, does what? Maybe 10 miles of beautiful little roads after you get out of the city. Then you hit some single track. We did the
for the
35.
short course.
Yeah,
We did
so
the
if
short
you
course.
do the Fuckaround course,
Okay.
Yeah.
it's about 8 miles to where the long course splits off.
Right.
And then very shortly after that, after a brief downhill, is my favorite 3 miles in all of Lancaster County. It starts with Susie's Hole. There's a short paved section that goes through a campground, and then the last section is officially known as Trolley Road, but many of us locally just think of the whole thing as Susie's Hole.
Okay.
And I personally have started calling that third section the Peckway Riviera because of the strange bungalow shack homes that are on the river there.
Yeah.
It just feels like it should be the Peckway Riviera.
Would that-
That was one of the coolest little parts.
would that be considered a holler? Kind of, maybe close.
I don't know because of how part of it borders water. I don't know if that makes it a holler, but there is somebody here from West Virginia who we can probably ask.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
they'll
would
know.
say that would be an urban holler.
Yeah.
How's that? That's actually, it's not that far outside of the city, an urban holler. We'll just call it that. Then we pop down to where the rest stop was, or the aid station, which was incredibly well stocked. I had
perfect.
my fill of Nutella and Uncrustables.
Oh, and the maple syrup shots?
Yep.
Were right on par.
That was a new experiment for this year, the maple syrup shots, and I think we're going to work that into the regular rotation.
Okay. I saw the waffles afterwards, and I was like, was the shot to go with the waffle?
It
And then-
was,
and then I was
but
like, nah.
There's no rules. Much like everything that we do
yeah.
here, there's no rules. But I got the maple syrup because I saw the little Belgian waffle things, and I was like, you know what these need is something like wash them down a little bit.
And then the next section, we head up a little
God.
road, and then we're down onto the railroad ballast.
The railroad ballast is the part that makes sure that everybody is on the wrong bike at some point.
Yeah.
There's no good bike for the railroad ballast except for a fat bike, which makes no sense for the rest of the day.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
it's
enjoyed
chunky.
it. I really enjoyed it. That's kind of my jam. I like that, like chunky kind of.
700 by 48 at low pressure. If you keep your speed up, you can actually really fly through that section.
I enjoyed it, and there was a
right to the porta potty.
There's
though.
a porta potty
Like,
right at
shook
the
everything
end.
right out of him.
It's the cleanest porta potty on the course.
That's what he said. He said, like, this is super clean.
Yep.
It was amazing.
Thanks to the Lancaster Conservancy for keeping that one clean for
It was
us.
stupendous. Now,
You weren't out of the woods from there either.
no, you were definitely not out of the woods. Because
Literally.
Then you literally have a. How long is that hike a bike up that crazy hill?
I don't know how long it actually is, but it's a push.
Yeah.
The long course has a solid mile long hike a bike that's very steep. That was the short course just got like a little taste of that. It might only be a quarter mile. It might not even be that. I don't know.
It was
but
enough
you're
for me.
pushing. Like you are pushing your bike. Yeah.
It was enough for me.
Yep.
I enjoyed it too, though. It's always good to get off the bike and hike every once in a while. And
Using different muscle groups.
Joey carried my bike up the hill for me, so that was a tremendous help. Thank
I
you,
was
Joey.
feeling great, so I just went down
he
and got
had
it.
one on one shoulder, one on the other, and then he was just hiking up, and I was like,
Love
okay,
it.
you do it, and thank you, Joey. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then. How 5-6 miles on that?
I think more than
beautiful rail
Yeah,
trail?
I think it was a little bit more.
I think,
I have no
I think
idea.
it's 8. I should know this answer.
It's okay.
It should be like common Lancaster trivia. I think it's about 8 miles.
Okay.
Some of the most beautiful rail trail anywhere in the country, if you ask me.
You know what was super cool was like all the bluffs on the right hand side as we were headed, I guess, north at that point. Of the Susquehanna was on the left, and we had the bluffs on the right. And like every quarter mile, you found somebody like scaling this giant cliff face
Yeah,
with
it's-
ropes and all that stuff.
It's a climber's hotspot. They do a good job of, respecting the needs of cyclists. I think we just need a path to get through.
Yeah.
Well, it's super wide.
It is super
It's
wide.
so wide.
And as a rider, it's cool to see other people out there just like using their bodies and
Yeah.
and also
Use bikes
like
to get all their stuff out there, it looked like.
Some of them do, yeah. I'm amazed I don't see more bob trailers out there.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I guess maybe everything fits in a backpack. And
They're
why
pretty
would,
good at
why would you go? I don't know. But anyway, can you do something about that headwind next year?
Nope.
On that one. Nope. It's consistent.
I've tried paying off the Weather Channel so many times, and they just will not listen.
Well, I did. Joey and I had fun coming down that.
Yeah, you pulled me the whole way.
Yeah, that's good. It was good.
The first year that we did this event, that headwind along the river was so bad that we actually ended up pace lining the whole way back. And like, these are not pace line events. Like, Hush Money doesn't throw pace line events, but it was the only way to keep your body moving forward.
Yeah. And then I swear, after you come off of the rail trail, I didn't think it could get better. I was like,
beautiful.
okay. I was like, oh, we're back on roads to go back to the shop. But man, those are just absolutely gorgeous roads. Stupendous.
Yeah.
So I grew up not too far from here, about an hour from here, up north in Lebanon County, and I had to move away to like some places that are considered utopian bike spots, Boulder, Colorado, Bend, Oregon, Breckenridge, Colorado. And it wasn't until I lived in these places that like people fly from all over the place to ride bikes there.
Right.
And after being in those places for 10 years, I was just like, Central Pennsylvania is where it's at. Like, we have some of the best riding I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's just unknown, hidden. I don't know what the right word is. But
It's like you want to tell everyone about it, but at the same time you want to keep it.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, no, I have a bike shop here. I want to tell everybody about it. I want everybody to know. It's good here. It's very good.
Well, we can do that for you. We're helping with that as much as we can.
So, are you the one that pieced the whole this route together?
Are you the architect?
I am. The short course is the backbone of almost every gravel ride I do where I leave from my front door.
Okay.
There's great riding, Michaud, Bald Eagle, like all the hot spots. But if I just want to do a loop after work, the short course is basically my loop.
Okay.
I can add to it. I can subtract from it. The long course is if I have a whole day, I can go out and do that extra 20 miles in the beginning. And I would say that's probably true of most gravel riders in the city here. Like if we want a good multi-surface experience, that's the direction we go.
Yeah.
And it's not a ride until you hit Susie's Hole. Like that section of trail is just so tasty.
Yeah.
Well, I just love doing rides that people put together where like you're cutting in and out of stuff like that, and then like you go through the tunnel for the hike a bike, and it pieces that together, and then like you don't just. It's not a straightforward thing. You're actually like piecing it all together.
Even just going out of here, even at the very beginning of the ride, going through, we all stopped on the weigh station to see how much weight we could. I think we had like 8,000 pounds on the truck weigh station.
That's awesome.
I don't know, were you there for that?
I wasn't there for that part, but that's awesome.
Yeah, we had everybody just
filled
stopped.
the scale.
Filled the scale. It was like 8,000 pounds on the scale.
Nice.
But even that was like, through sort of like you felt like you were like, it felt like you were a kid cutting through the neighborhood you knew what you were growing up in, is what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
It
It was a lot of like, that was many years of like patching little pieces together. Like
Yeah. Now tell us, what did we miss? Because we did the short course, and we just walked through sort of the short course. What did we miss not doing the long course? What are those people out there experiencing now? Because we still got people out on the course right now.
There's a blazing fast descent. You do a little trail section in an area called Kelly's Run that's owned by the Lancaster Conservancy. Which is who we're riding for today. There's this little blip through Kelly's Run. There's a fun descent, but after that, there is this blazing fast descent in an abandoned macadam surface.
Okay. Oh wow.
It's
fun.
It's sketchy as all hell. There's usually thorns across it. You never know when there's going to be a log across it. So you can go 40, but you should not go 40. And then immediately following that is a miserable 3/4 mile hike a bike that you simply cannot ride up. It's not rideable.
Okay.
From that it takes you to the pinnacle, which is this big beautiful vista and an overlook. It looks over the Susquehanna and across to the York side of the river.
Okay.
So honestly, the short course probably gives you the most enjoyment. The long course, there is a little bit more punishment on the long course.
Well, as King George said, I'm here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time.
Yeah, George Strait.
Yeah. Plus, there's fried bologna sandwiches in the parking lot.
And
I just want to get back.
The mushrooms were ridiculous. Where did those come from?
Some guy named Greg hit me up on Instagram last night.
Okay.
He's like Daddy Canoe or something. I don't even remember. I got to look it up. But he just said his family owns a mushroom farm and asked if I could bring some. And then he messaged separately, and he's like, of the non-psychedelic variety.
Okay.
That's what I was wondering.
Get ready to ask the question.
I love that he knew to ask. The answer would have been yes, regardless. But he brought the most beautiful box of mushrooms I have ever seen. I mean, they were gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Delicious, too.
I'm
Did
not
you
a
get
mushroom
some?
fan,
Not yet.
but
They saved a couple for me.
They look so good cooking.
They were so good. I put them on top of my glizzy.
Yeah.
So
That's how you
good.
class up a glizzy, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. That's it. Okay, now tell us about Lancaster Conservancy.
They're basically in the business of buying up land and preserving it as a wild space so that it can be developed into something else.
Okay.
It's become an enormous nonprofit here in Lancaster.
Okay.
And a lot of the land that we rode on today is owned and managed by the Conservancy.
Okay, I was just going to ask. Yeah.
They don't disallow cycling. However, it's mostly like foot traffic. It's mostly hikers there.
Okay.
There's a new administration at the Conservancy now, and it's somebody who is pro bicycle.
Good.
And so I feel like there's a better future within the Conservancy land for trail building and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is just sort of a first step.
So we had Virginia Land Trust folks with us probably a few months ago. I guess, Joey, it was back middle of summer. And it's interesting to see how they all kind of differ, but they're all doing the same thing, trying to conserve land, trying to make sure that it stays green, and doing it wisely and figuring out the right angles to attract people to say, I want to put my land in that conservancy. I want to put my land in that trust. So tell us about Brio. Brio is here with a bunch of stoves.
Brio has been one of our biggest supporters since we opened. Drew Bell, friend of the shop, he's sort of like Lancaster's Ferris Bueller.
Okay.
His job is just to bring Brio stoke to events.
Nice.
So
that's awesome.
anytime we throw an event, Drew always brings out stoves. We provide him with stuff to cook, and he's more than happy to just hang out and cook for us.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Nice.
Brio also in the past has donated entire smokeless fire pits for raffles and stuff like that. So
Cool.
they've really been super supportive.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to have a little fire to keep you warm after a
Oh,
day
it's
like
amazing.
that. Yeah.
It was beautiful. Roll right back up
Yeah.
here. Stood by the fire for a little bit and get your hands right back in warm, and it's perfect. And even Joey was sitting here. I may have bought my other competitor stove a little too quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I may have said the same thing. We both may have looked at each other and said maybe we should sell
I also
those.
just said, I was like, I'm going to buy a Brio and sell my other one. So
So good job, Brio. Let's throw them some
I like nice
some
stuff. I
love.
want to cook on it.
Throw them
Yeah.
some love. That was-
All those stoves are good. The accessories that Brio make.
That's
I'm
what-
not paid to say this.
No.
The accessories that Brio
No.
makes are amazing, especially if you like to cook over a live fire.
Right, 'cause
Well, that's
they were
my
cooking
thing.
the glizzies on top of the little thing
Oh,
that
yeah.
sits over top of the stove. And I was looking at that and I was like, oh
And
my
they're made right
goodness.
here in Lancaster, right?
Yep.
Is that true? They're made right here in Lancaster.
There's this space where our Mennonite community intersects with the Instagram community, and in that space is like Brio, Passenger Coffee, Prince Street Cafe, and these businesses crush it here in Lancaster.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like
nice.
the Mennonites have figured out how to like really use Instagram to take money from the hipsters.
Are you serious?
It's great.
That is fantastic. I love that. We have a huge Mennonite nomination
Yeah, we have a
community in Southern Maryland.
Yeah, it's weird, but
Yeah,
that's down there.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
I just saw a Mennonite female with like a Glock with her like the other day. Like it was
What?
awesome. Yeah.
Hey, it's still America. We're still in
Heck yeah, it was
America.
awesome. But you got Endos here too, right?
So Endo showed up with some of their CBD THC seltzer. I don't know how that works legally.
Oh,
but
there's THC
They're
in that?
delicious. It's a small amount.
I bought the coffee.
They also do a different. There's a different. It's a Delta 8 or Delta 9.
Delta 9.
One of them's a THC like you normally would see, and then the other one's a little bit slightly different variant,
Yeah.
more towards the CBD, but still considered THC.
I can't keep track of this stuff
No.
anymore.
No.
I
You
had
gotta be a
8
chemist.
years working in the cannabis industry. I do not understand this stuff anymore. But Jake would be a great guest on this show.
Okay.
And Endo. That they were our roommates for our first 3 years of existence. They were so good to us. They provided us with a place with a very reasonable rent so that we could just get our feet under us.
Nice. Nice.
And Jake and Jamie to this day have remained good friends and supporters of the shop.
Okay. Now I love this little area you have outside the shop here. There's like
Is this like a fresh pad?
it's like a courtyard.
This concrete is 2 weeks old.
Nice.
The blacktop is a week old.
Okay.
So this is all very fresh. Eventually, this space is going to be used by the restaurant that is being built up front.
Okay.
But that's still, that project has many months left in it, so we're going to use this space as long as we can.
Sure. Absolutely.
So how has the new shop been? I mean, you guys went from you opened early COVID, and now I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll let you fix that. But I mean, as someone in the bike industry, you're like a destination store. Like there's shops all over the country,
And we were kind of intentional about that. When we picked our name, I mean, the name kind of fell in our laps, but we didn't want something that limited us to a specific geographic area. We didn't want to be the Lancaster bicycle headquarters.
Right.
We wanted something that appealed to a larger. I mean, look, the bike industry is tough. Like you get it, you see it.
Yeah.
The bike industry is hard, and without selling, our T-shirts to people all across the country. We wouldn't be able to go on vacation once a year. We wouldn't be able to buy pizza for our mechanics every Friday. And that stuff makes a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was interesting. I bought my working from you, and when I went in, I bought a sweatshirt this afternoon when we got back, because the sweatshirts are pretty money.
We're also really careful about not just putting crap into the world. There's a lot of really just thoughtless merch out there.
Yeah.
Cheap T-shirts, hoodies that you wear 3 times and they fall apart.
Yeah.
And it's not a recipe for sustainability or success on many different levels. So we do really put a lot of thought into the clothing and the merch that we put out there. Not just the quality, but sort of the what's the best way to say this? The way the companies themselves, how they treat their employees, how they're perceived within the bike industry, stuff like that.
Sustainable companies as well. Responsible.
I don't always know the right word to use, and language changes so quickly these days, but we care about the people who we're doing business with. We don't want to just buy the cheapest T-shirts.
Well, I saw you had the Ocean Sand in there.
That stuff is so good.
And I had just, my only experience with them was like I kept seeing the Instagram ads, and finally I broke down because I was like, I'm so sick. I'll be honest, I'm so sick of bike jerseys. And so I bought a T-shirt from them that had the pockets in the back, and I was like, damn, this really holds up nice. And then to see them in a shop, that's nice.
That's
awesome.
Probably our best-selling individual item is those Ocean and Sand. As far as apparel is concerned, I think those Ocean and Sand shirts are our best-selling item. We actually have a new one coming out in a few weeks. I just got the artwork back for it, but it's this goofy little sloth with a bike packing setup, just sort of ride it down the road.
Nice.
That design should be out in a week or two, I think.
Well, you guys are crushing it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for putting on an event like this. Thank you for bringing all these people out, taking the time to organize it, being the architect of the route.
Hopefully you don't need permits next year.
I think our days of sneaking under the radar are over. I think that it's going to be only permits from here on out.
Well, listen, I know you've got to get back.
I didn't realize you're still even in your boots. Or your overshoes,
you got to get back to hosting your party. So go do your thing. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, one more time, thank you for putting on such a tremendous event.
Thank you guys. Genuinely appreciate it.
Right on, bro.
The only thing I would change real quick is tire size.
The only thing you change is tire size?
I'd run 47s because they run smooth on the road and they got the volume for the freaking railroad tie thing.
My 42s were fine.
I mean, my 42s are fine, but like I said, I think aired down.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be nice.
Okay, this or that. First item up this week, Joey. A ride or a race? Meaning organized. An organized ride.
Well, as competitive as I am to race to the back, I would probably pick the ride.
There's something I think is, everybody says, well, you don't have to race, right? It's like, oh, go to the thing. You don't have to race. Just go enjoy it. But there's an underlying subtle thing when you strap on a bib and it's a number and it's got a timing chip in it. I think mentally you kind of like you can't but help to think about like, I'm doing this for time. And did you notice like on the fall Fuckaround, there was no thoughts of like, oh, let's hurry up and get going. It was just like, oh, let's just sit here on the weigh scale and see how much weight we can gather before we go to the next thing. And everywhere along that route, people were stopped and just socializing. We'll say that. Socializing with one another. So this is just a completely different vibe when you literally just throw out the timing chip component, throw out that whole component, that whole thing, and just call it a ride. And I thought the vibe was really cool. Nobody cared about when anybody got back or what.
So the thing I hate about the R word, the race, is like I even have customers come in my shop and they're like, they call it in hunger a race or charity events like that. It's not a freaking race. And that's the attitude that pisses other people off.
So
when they try to treat that like a quote unquote race, it is a charity ride.
yeah.
It is a fun charity ride, just like Seagull. People want to race that or any of these charity rides. Or, no offense, they go into something like that has a bunch of people that maybe is a quote unquote a race, and maybe the top 10% races, but everyone else gets that mindset and then they ride like assholes.
Well, okay, the two events that you threw out there as examples, and Hunger, which is one that's local here to us, and a lot of people know the whatever that thing is that happens over there, Seagull
or Six Colors, or any of those.
Okay, so those are road events.
Race bikes and beers. No, you're not.
They're road events too.
Yeah.
So I think that they have
I'm still thinking about gravel events.
So you see that same mindset on gravel too.
Not in podcast mode.
Oh, sorry.
I've seen it in gravel.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, for someone that's raced road, but like technically raced road,
mm-hmm.
like I don't think those people know what a road race is.
What it really looks like.
Yeah, it's annoying, and you're going back to your job the next day on Monday.
Yeah,
so don't treat other people horrible and ride like a jackwagon.
Yeah.
Go get a whoopie pie at the end. That's it. I had a whoopie pie before.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You took the chocolate peanut butter one, and the only left was some vanilla thing, and I was like,
I was going to split it.
No, that's okay.
That's my big thing about the rides versus races.
Yeah. Okay. I think we both landed on the ride side. Would you rather do a weekend event or a one-day event?
I think all my fun ones are multiple day.
Yeah.
Weekend events.
Yeah.
Weekend events of some sort. Maybe the ride's one day, but.
Well, it also seems like we always have to travel so far.
Yeah.
To go to a good gravel.
Well, we are gravel travel.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
So.
That's not what it comes from.
No, weekend events.
Yeah.
They're the best ones.
Absolutely.
Even, I will like all the way down to technically, me and Jess have been allowed to camp at Growly Cat. And that's made it a whole much more different event for me.
Whole different thing.
Yeah.
Whole different thing.
No one else is going to be able to do that. It's only no one's allowed to camp there.
We'll cut that out, Alex. We'll cut that out, Chris.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I mean, I got to camp and hang out with me and Matt and Ted last year or this year at Growly Cat.
Yeah,
it's fun. We both, all three of us, woke up there and
I can't remember where I was.
Changes that event for me.
I know I did Growly Cat, but I think I came in that same day. Didn't come in.
You did because you.
I can't remember what I had.
Yeah, you definitely picked up Matt's birthday cupcake.
No, that's right. There was a wedding. I'm sure there was a wedding.
Married.
God, there were so many weddings.
Married.
I still got another wedding this year too to go to.
Where?
This one's thank goodness is local, but it's an event. Okay. I also would go with the weekend event, but I think that I could be committed. The Hush Money, but that was fun, even though it was a one-day event.
Yeah, like I said, I would turn it into a weekend event.
Yeah, turning it into a weekend event would make it even all the better. So I think we're both on the weekend side. White tree lights or multicolored tree lights?
White.
White, yeah?
Or my tree does all.
Oh, okay.
I just step on the button.
Okay. And how many times is it in multicolored mode?
No, I mean, I could either... Man, my tree is extravagant. Our tree, we got to put it up. We got like a pre-lit LED thing, and it's got this little push thing for your foot.
Yep.
So you don't have to like unplug it.
Nice.
So
fancy.
You can get it to just be all white. You can get it to just be all colored.
Uh-huh.
Then you get to flicker white. Then you get to flicker colored. Then you get to flicker both. Rotates.
You got a fancy tree, buddy.
Yeah. So I don't like if I just want it to be colored one day.
Okay.
I grew up with white lights.
Yeah.
And I think they're pretty. But I also think colored trees are pretty too.
Yeah.
Just I grew up with the white lights.
I like the white tree lights.
Yeah.
I just
a little
think
classier.
It's classy. It's
Yeah.
classy. What would really make it classy is when you surround the bottom of it with a nice tree skirt or something. Yeah. And then that's really classy. When you surround it with like mixed fruits, chocolate covered mixed fruits around the bottom of the tree. The classy? The Office forever. Jim and Dwight were having the classy thing.
Oh.
And, he was like, not classy.
I actually missed that one.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think we're both on a white light train.
White light, a nice skirt.
Okay.
Classy.
Would you prefer getting lost and the adventure of getting lost or always knowing your way?
I'm a dude. I always know. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I'm going to get canceled.
That was Joey. Joey's at Joey at packpaddle.com.
I'm a dude. I'm always know where I'm going. And then, no, God, no.
His cell phone number is...
I've been lost way too many times to. I have technically been lost in Yellowstone National Park
Okay.
for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Scary.
Not in a bad way. We were still with it. Just there was a blizzard.
Oh man.
My friend, we
John
had.
Dutton come save you?
Oh God, no.
Rip come save you?
I wish this was 2010,
Uh-huh.
and it sounds really weird because it wasn't that long ago. But same time, the phones weren't the same.
Right.
There wasn't like we were college kids. We didn't have like a Garmin in our car. That's back when you actually had a Garmin unit.
Uh-huh.
We didn't. We had a road atlas.
Okay.
We had a specific map of the park, which long story short, Jeff had the map upside down.
Uh-oh.
And it wasn't until we came across a river. And
Boy Scouts, are you?
I was. But Jeff was the navigator. I navigated us home after Yellowstone with a road atlas
Nice.
all the way back to Maryland.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been lost and I've been lost on bike rides. And I used to do a lot of orienteering, which is really getting lost to get unlost.
Yeah.
So I like the adventure. I'll say that because some people don't come back.
Yeah. Well,
But
I don't.
it's not an adventure till something goes wrong.
That's what I was going to say. It's
Usually has a better story.
If everything goes according to plan, then where's the fun in that? But I guess you can still have fun if everything goes according to plan. I get it. Don't beat me up over that. But the idea of like losing yourself for a little bit in
Getting uncomfortable.
yeah
Isn't a bad thing.
there's
Learn
something
your limits.
there's something that's sort of, I don't know, attractive about that idea of being sort of like, and learning to overcome it.
Yeah.
And also learning to know how to deal with it so that I just think it's something that's kind of, I agree though. If everything goes according to plan, there's no
certain
adventure.
extremes. I haven't been like backcountry.
Yeah.
To get flown out, search and rescue.
Kind of like that Larry story where he was like trapped for 3 days in the wild flood or something of the river, and they were getting ready to eat each other or something. Larry tells that story, man.
Cut his dog open and put his hands inside of it to
keep warm. No, I think Snickerdoodle was the one that was like in control of everything.
Oh, probably. And it's like Larry's tauntaun he cuts open on Hoth.
There were some other people I think that were kind of freaking out a little bit. So, okay, I think we agreed across the board: rides, weekend events, white tree lights, and a little bit of the idea of getting lost in the adventure, not truly getting lost
On land.
Oh yeah.
I just thought about that. I've had some close calls on the water. That's totally different.
And that's probably
That's
predating
scary.
Predating all the navigation. I
remember when I had my first little skiff. It was like 1920. Same thing. It was probably 2008. And I had a little yellow Garmin E-Trex thing, and that was it. That thing was horrible.
Useless.
And you barely there were iPhones. I think the first few iPhones were just out, but they weren't good.
They weren't doing.
No. But you have a problem on the water.
Yeah.
That scares the crap out of you quickly.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that can go drastically wrong.
So on land, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really hard, I think, today to get lost. I mean,
I don't know. I just heard a story about a hiker, older guy. I forgot where he was. Him and his dog went out. I think he was gone missing for weeks. They just found his dog, but his dog was still with the body.
So there are so many tools at your disposal today.
If you're prepared, right?
Your Garmin, we carry the InReach minis, and even your phone. If you know you're going to an area that has bad cell phone coverage, download maps, folks, because the GPS will tell you where you are.
Learn how to read a map first. If
Truth.
you're going to do that.
Truth.
There's a difference.
Truth.
Don't be like Jeff and hold it upside down.
Yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong with that. I can't tell you the number of times like, hey, find us someplace to go to eat for lunch, and it's like, well, here's a place that's not far, and it's like 10 miles backwards. It's like, okay, let's focus on the direction that we're headed as opposed to what we've already passed. So, and I just, you're right though. It can be dangerous. So, all right, you ready to shut this thing down?
Yep.
Thanks everybody for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. We hope you enjoyed our first mobile interview with an event director on site after an event. If you enjoyed that, then the best way to get more of that is to consider joining our Patreon family. We really appreciate all the support. Your monthly donation of just a couple of bucks helps us keep this podcast going. And Joey, I just ordered some new Old Bay gravel stickers. I think I got 300 of them.
Old Bay
coming.
gravel.
Yeah, the Old Bay gravel things. Everybody loves that. So I'm going to have a whole
flag.
I'm going to have
put it on the back of your car.
I have it on the back of my tent.
Like on a flag.
Like on a flag and then fly it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. That actually is a great idea. Well, Joey, how can folks get in touch with us if they want to?
Well, a couple of people actually touched me this weekend.
I saw.
Next time to do that might be NCR or whatever we do next.
Oh, that's right. We can talk about that.
Last Average Joe ride is in 2 weeks. Next Saturday, not this upcoming Saturday. We're going to Memphis for Justice St. Jude half.
That's right.
But you can reach out to us on our Instagram at Mid-Atlantic GTD or check out our website at graveltraveldirt.com.
And you referenced it. Maybe we'll talk more about it next week. But we're doing a day after Christmas ride.
Yeah, that might be a little of a conflict for me. So we'll figure it out. You might have to drive me home.
I can do that.
Okay.
That's not a problem. Not a problem at all.
I might get a ride there from Jess coming home from Jersey.
Okay.
With Blake. She might drop me off.
Okay. Whatever we need to do, we'll figure it out.
And then I got to have you pull me along again and get poke.
No problem. I can do all of those things. Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel and Dirt is recorded this week from right here in Blake's kitchen. And all the way up to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Just outside of Hush Money Bikes. Almost forgot about that. Thanks for riding along. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, respect others.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.